The chair of the House Oversight Committee says the FBI director confirmed the existence of a document which describes an alleged criminal scheme involving then Vice President Biden.
Now, Republican Congressman James Comer has pushed to hold the Bureau's director in contempt of Congress if the record isn't turned over. He and Senator Chuck Grassley say the document includes very serious allegations against the president. According to Comer, the FBI director offered to let lawmakers view it at the agency's headquarters. The White House called the oversight chair's push, quote, a silly charade in a statement today.
CBS News senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge joins us now. Catherine, tell us about the significance of these FBI records. And I think it's important for us to underscore at this point that these are allegations and we know nothing about the veracity, I guess.
That's quite right. I'm glad you raised that point, Lana. And Errol, good to be with you. This form is called an FD 1023. It's an FBI interview summary. It's a special document because it's only used with confidential human sources. So these are individuals who have a long-standing relationship or an official relationship with the FBI. It's not used for what I would call a walk-in. That's someone who is volunteering information to the Bureau. What the Republicans want to understand is that when the FBI received this intelligence, what kind of due diligence did they execute? Were they able to run down this allegation of a bribery scheme? And if they did, what did they find to either substantiate it or to find that it's not credible? And that's really at the heart of this entire dispute between the GOP and the FBI director. They say they've got a right oversight the Biden investigations, and he says he wants to protect sources and methods at the Bureau.
Now, the FBI director has not complied with the congressional subpoena. Any indication as to why that is?
Well, just to take the discussion, Errol, a bit further, as far as the FBI is concerned, and I've been covering it for 2 decades, when you ask them about confidential human sources, this is like the crown jewel of their intelligence gathering capabilities. And this is something that is so closely guarded and so sacred that after 9/11, then FBI Director Robert Mueller refused access to the confidential human sources network, even to the 9/11 Commission investigators. So that's how protective they are. So from Wray's point of view, they don't want to create any conditions of a compromise to that network. And also, they believe that releasing information from this document could have the effect of tipping their hand in other investigations. The GOP says, hold on, we are not buying that. We have an oversight responsibility. And at the end of the day, it's an unclassified record. It's not even a highly secret document.
Well, given that, Catherine, I'm wondering if the House GOP is now expected to move forward with holding the FBI director in contempt of Congress.
Yep, that's a great question. Well, the head of the Oversight Committee, James Comer, has indicated that he will initiate holding the FBI director in contempt of Congress. As you both know from covering Washington, D.C., that's a process. So you could be several weeks out from seeing that come to fruition. In the meantime, we've just in the last hour here at CBS News received a statement from a White House spokesman in response, and he describes this as a silly charade by the chairman of the Oversight Committee, Mr. Comer, and also a political stunt. And he goes on to say that this is a fact-free goose chase. I think that last point is somewhat disingenuous because the efforts of both of these members on the Republican side have been based for a couple of years now in records that have been independently subpoenaed from the banks about the Biden network of family businesses. And you recall just a few weeks ago, they released an interim report that showed nearly a dozen family members or associates were receiving money sort of in the neighborhood of $10 million. No one has said that this is illegal. A lot of political families run businesses, so there's no evidence yet that laws were violated, but they're trying to understand that if the FBI had an important tip, did they do due diligence? Did they run it down? And what did they find in the end?
Still holding the FBI director in contempt of Congress, that would be a big deal. All right,
Catherine, big step. Yeah.
Catherine Herridge, thank you.
You're welcome.